We're making our way now towards Mundakai. You can see how treacherous it is. It is courtesy these army personnel that even this much is possible. Using barricades, wooden planks, they've created this particular bridge here, makeshift obviously. And when the current goes up, this also is completely shut down. Let's make our way towards Mundakai now. I'm running right through because it's raining as well. Non-stop rain here through the day, and through that the work continuing. Can you believe that where people are right now, this was a temple completely destroyed, because while I've crossed one side of the river and come to this side right now towards Mundakai as we head there, this entire area, I understand, just about 24 hours ago, actually 36 hours ago, was completely underwater. Now the water levels have come down, which is why you can see efforts to create more and more bridges so that people can come across. Right now, the way I showed you is the only path, because the big bridge that is being constructed by the army, where they've created that column which will be put up, that's yet to be set up. But from here, it's another at least 60-minute walk. I'm going to take you through it to show you exactly what our personnel are going through, the kind of challenges that they're facing, terrain-wise, weather-wise, as you can see, and still getting there to rescue every single person. This is exactly what the area of Mundakai looked like before the landslide happened. And I've asked this question several times to several authorities about what triggered the landslides. Yes, natural calamity, but also deforestation. Tea plantations all across this entire stretch as far as the eye can see. And it will lead to questions about whether that too was one of the causes for the landslide happening in the manner that it did. As we walk up, I've been speaking to a lot of the people here, and almost all of them are locals who've come up to help. Sorry, നിങ്ങൾ എവിടെയാണ്?
വയനാട് ഡിസ്ട്രിക്ട് സുൽത്താമത്തേരി.
എപ്പോ വന്നു ഇവിടെ?
രാവിലെ 8 o'clock.
അവിടുന്ന് റിക്കവറി ഒരു 25 ബോഡിയോളം നമ്മൾ റിക്കവർ ചെയ്ത് കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട് ഇന്നലെ.
ഫസ്റ്റ് വരുന്നത് ഞാൻ ഇന്നലെ മോർച്ചറിയിലായിരുന്നു ഡ്യൂട്ടി. മോർച്ചറിയിൽ വളരെ
ഡ്യൂട്ടി പറഞ്ഞാൽ
മോർച്ചറിൽ സഹായിക്കല്.
ആര് പറഞ്ഞു?
അവിടെ
ഏത് ഡ്യൂട്ടിയാണ്?
അവിടെ സ്വയം നാട്ടുകാർ കൂടിയിട്ട് അങ്ങ് തെരഞ്ഞെടുക്കലാ, ഗ്രൂപ്പാണ്. ഇന്ന ഡ്യൂട്ടി നമ്മളങ്ങ് മനസ്സറിഞ്ഞ് ചെയ്യാം. ചെയ്തിട്ട് പിന്നെ നമ്മളത് അവിടെ ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്ത് കൊടുക്കുക, ഗവൺമെന്റിന് ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്ത് കൊടുക്കുക.
All of them walking uphill, saying several times they've done it and continue to do so. They're not part of any organization, any of that. They're locals who heard of the news and decided, look, amid this torrential rain, we're going to come here, do everything we can to help. And that's the spirit of Kerala that you see here, that I'm witnessing. Behind me is the entire stretch of the river there flowing through. You can see the rocks that is brought along as a result of the landslide. 2 days back, when the landslide happened, the water was right up till here. Now it's receded and left behind all of that debris. Locals tell me that it was along this stretch the bodies were washed up. A lot of the bodies were found almost 20-30 kilometers away from where I'm standing, which is where the actual landslide took place. So you can imagine the amount of debris that really pushed all of these homes, bodies, families across till the very end. Even now at this point, rescue operations continue. You can see there are several officials out there, but it's impossible really to sift through, dig through all of that debris. That big mound behind me, it's untouched so far. As we speak, bodies are being pulled out, so the rescue operation still very much continuing in many pockets where officials are reaching and realizing only now that the landslide has hit here too, that houses have been completely destroyed in many of these circumstances, and just the sheer nature of this tragedy can be summed up in the images I'm showing you. Many of these circumstances, locals tell me that they're not able to find more than body parts, but they're still treating it with the respect and dignity. I apologize for bringing you these kind of sensitive images, but this is the nature of tragedy that we're actually dealing with, where every 15 minutes another body is pulled out by the officials who are working here through the heavy rain from early morning till late into the night, till sundown. And from here, it's at least 1 hour that you'll have officials actually walking right down to the spot where the ambulance can reach them, because the ambulance can't come up to where we've come. They have to trek all the way. Sir, India Today. They have to trek all the way to the other side. And that's where the ambulance can actually take the mortal remains to a morgue. And in some cases, injured people also being pulled out, which is nothing short of a miracle. Still bodies are there, sir?
Still bodies are there. And here, overall, we don't know how much houses are there. But we can see 10 to 15 houses in this side. So, we are searching. And we got right now 4 bodies. The people saying from here, people telling that there is some more bodies.
What they're doing here is nothing short of heroic. So many locals, officials risking their lives to come here in this pouring rain. You've been seeing how it's non-stop raining. This entire stretch here, there's absolutely nothing left. And this was an area full of tea plantations, full of homes. Nearly 400 families washed away as a result of these landslides. You can see the path that the landslide took. All the boulders, remnants of the landslide. You can see this area, you see 1 or 2 houses left behind, but otherwise all other houses completely washed away. This is where all of the rescue operations continue, even as remnants of the house are being pulled apart right now to reach the bodies that still remain in this debris. With video journalist Sachin Chandok, this is Akshita Nandagopal reporting for India Today from Wayanad.